kids. So
yeah.
Do you need a local?
I mean, if it's easy, why not? But who cares? Assume it'll be
do
fun.
this for a living, so it's
I know both of you guys do. So
yeah, it's quite simple.
Let's start.
Hang on, let me get you here, and I'll have a backup of the whole thing.
We good?
Yep.
All right, and welcome to Fastbreak Breakfast NBA Podcast. My name is Keith Parish. I'm here once again with my buddies through the miracle of the computer phone, but I'm here with new buddies. I'm here with Dave DuFour. Dave, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good to hear. Also here with Andrew Schlecht. Andrew, how's it going?
Yo, it's going very good. Very, very good.
What makes your life so good, Andrew?
Right, sunshiny day outside. 2 of my kids are at school.
There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than schools being opened and the kids being healthy enough to go. It is absolutely, that's the best thing. John and Chuck, our regular co-hosts, they are indisposed at the moment. Unfortunately, I think Chuck is too crestfallen to speak after the heat.
Ooh.
All of Jimmy Butler's teammates failed to show up for consecutive games in Philadelphia. I assume Jimmy Butler was just trash talking the teammates at the time, saying like, I could do this with backups. Why are you guys out here? I don't even need you guys. Like, just give me some third stringers. And then John, overwhelmed with work. Also, I think his entire family has COVID. So congratulations to him. Finally hitting the COVID jackpot after all these years, but we'll try to keep it going. Mother's Day was on Sunday. Did you guys have any like especially good Mother's Day? Actually, let's do it like this. Let's do our breakfast, because my breakfast was leftover Mother's Day meal. I had my mom over on Saturday night. We made a little tenderloin. I said that's my wife. She made it because I can't make anything. But we celebrated that, and that actually was my breakfast on this Monday morning. It's been 2 days later.
Well, what are you doing with it? Like, you just eating it straight up, or you like doing some eggs with it? What's the play?
No, I ate it straight up. I had leftover tenderloin and I just spread horseradish all over it. I don't know if that's too early in the morning for like beef. I don't eat red meat hardly ever. And I don't know is horseradish an okay morning food? I did it. And I have no regrets. It was to pick me up. It was to wake me up. I wanted. So I thought it was.
Well, hold
good.
on.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you allow horseradish in the morning? I mean, hot sauce is
great
a morning
in the morning.
staple for me, right? Like, I mean,
of course,
I'm not saying horseradish is the same as hot sauce, but certainly it's kind of spicy, right? Like,
there are rules. There are rules to these things. I don't know who decides them. Like, who decided that a donut was a breakfast food and not a dessert?
Oh, I actually had donuts on Mother's Day, anyway. But yeah,
I don't know who decides it, but there are rules, and you broke one.
I don't know. I mean, I am trying to think. Is there like a horseradish that goes on a traditional breakfast item?
I don't think you go to I'm thinking about going to brunch with somebody and sitting down at the table, and they'll put hot sauce.
I mean, like a Bloody Mary can be incredibly spicy. That can have.
It's not about the spice. It's just about what it is.
Yeah,
it's not about the spice. The spice has nothing to do with it.
That's
you guys
what
are
I did.
Picking the wrong angle.
I'm picking the wrong angle. Well, what's your breakfast rules, man? Andrew, what'd you have?
I had a stack of pancakes. My 3-year-old and I.
For Mother's Day, not like today. Or did you do it today on a Monday?
Today.
Oh,
today,
amazing!
On a Monday, my 3-year-old and I love to make pancakes on a Monday morning.
You have rules. For me, a rule: pancakes on a weekday is insane.
That is nuts. Who has time on a weekday, Andrew?
Listen, every day is like the weekend for me. You know, like I talk about basketball for my life. Come on,
this is a dream life.
I used to
you
live
know what?
way.
This is great perspective, Andrew. I love this. I'm gonna start making pancakes, even though I don't eat breakfast.
Pancakes on a Monday is an incredible luxury. I'm amazed, Andrew. This is why everything is so great for you. You're right. You said it up top that everything's great, and this is how. Dave, what's your what was your worthwhile? What? You're like
I drink black coffee in the
intermittent
morning.
fasting or something.
It's not intermittent
you haven't
fasting.
Eaten in 46 hours. What's your thing?
Well, I just don't eat when I'm not hungry.
Right.
Right. I know it's a
Okay.
novel concept, but I
Yeah.
don't get hungry until, usually like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've normally walked like 5 miles. I like to say I'm tapping into the hunting and gathering epigenetics that are just latent in all of us. I just don't get hungry in the morning. So yeah, drink
Gosh,
black
I don't know if
coffee.
I'm weird or if you guys are weird, because like I don't do horseradish. I definitely eat more than once before 2 o'clock every day. Like,
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
I cannot make it at 2 o'clock. I would
Yeah.
fall over. I don't have the stamina to. I don't think my body has enough in reserve to make it
Yeah.
into an afternoon without food. Like I don't need. If you give me coffee in the morning, I'm good for a while. But like 2 p.m. no food? No, I think I would actually. Yeah, I'd probably pass out. It would be pretty ugly. I was thinking about Mother's Day because my mom, I gave her a present that was like I gave this to her for Christmas. So it wasn't like a Mother's Day present, but I gave her a present of something that I want. It was like a selfish gift because I want my kids
That's a Homer gift.
Yeah, I want my kids to go over to her house because she lives not very far away. They're like a 30-minute drive away. And so I also gave her a thing I'm very passionate about. I gave her a Lego set for Christmas.
Oh.
I gave her this. It's a Sesame Street Lego set.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
I wanted to play with it. 2, my kids wanted to play with it. And I thought if we put it at her house, that would be a reason to go do it. Well, anyway, my kids have not been over there yet to play with it. It's, what is it, May? It's been 5 months. Okay, that's fine. But also, my mom built it. And I found this hilarious because I've become very passionate about Legos. I have tons of Legos. My mom was like, hey, I've been building this Lego set, but I couldn't find a piece. So I called customer service. And I found this hilarious because I was like, well, no pieces are missing. Like Lego does not leave the pieces out. They have perfected this. There aren't any. She's like, I called the customer service. They're very, very helpful. Helped me find the piece. But then I lost more pieces, and I've now called, and they're actually mailing me all these replacement pieces. And I was like, 1, that's amazing. 2, there's no chance the pieces are missing. Like I will come, I will come show you. I will come find this because I've practiced with my kids. Like my kids would put together sets, and I'm basically like I'm the Columbo or the I don't know, Perry Mason of Lego build. Like I know how to go back through and find out like where the missing pieces, like where you went wrong. Like, hey, those are forest green. You needed actual green. That's why you've already used this piece up. But apparently she spent like hours on the phone with Lego. And they were just very polite and happy to help this woman in her 70s assemble this sort of complex Lego set. But like she was stuck. She's like, I can't finish it because I don't have these pieces. So they're mailing me the pieces from like Sweden. And I was like, let me come over. And I come over and I'm like, there's your missing piece. It was under the wrong thing. And I'm like, that's the piece you needed. Now you can take these apart. And like my dad thought it was hilarious that she'd been waiting, like weeks of inaction on her Lego set. I'm like, no, it's right here. They're
Legos.
They're Legos. What do you mean by that, Dave?
They don't make unique pieces. Why didn't she just say, hey, do you have any spares?
Well, I mean, they
Instead
do.
of calling Lego. I don't know, man. This is a generational thing because like when you have a problem, what do you do? Do you normally hop on customer service? Well, do you normally call them up?
It depends.
Never.
I've actually made it a little thing of like, maybe I'm just becoming my parents, or like I've had customer service issues recently, but also I had like, I felt like I had things where I was wronged. I felt I felt aggrieved.
See, I don't
where like I went for a little change. They like the famous Fastbreak breakfast story was like they didn't patch my tire when I went in to get a tire patch, and then I was like, like what in the world? Like it's still so like I have some of those. I had the plumbing issue that ended up being the cult plumbers who died in a plane crash. Again, I'm just naming all Fastbreak breakfast hits. So like, but I don't normally call customer service if it's like this thing where I'm like, okay, I don't need the help of customer service to walk me through this. I assume if YouTube can't teach me how to do it, I don't think the customer service is going to be even better. But Dave, the Lego thing, I mean, there are unique pieces. You have to have the one correct piece. This is not like they're not interchangeable. The magic of Lego is all Legos fit together. But if you're building the design, you want the specific piece they tell you.
Yeah, you gotta have the right piece.
Anyways, my mom now has lots of extra pieces because
I've never built a Lego that was like a design. I've never done like a Lego model. Yeah,
well, that makes sense. Well, they're now targeted at you. Dave, for your birthday, I'm going to get you the Back to the Future DeLorean set that just came out. It looks amazing.
You know, it's fun. All right. They're targeted at,
they're targeting us.
Can't get into the
they're targeting us.
It's because they want us to we're supposed to now pass everything along, including all of our hobbies and interests. They don't want to make new stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
You should do it.
Back to the Future set. I mean, I'm in.
Exactly. I mean, I have these Batman, these 89.
Does it come with Doc Brown and Marty McFly?
Yes, it comes with everything you want.
What, Einstein or Copernicus though? Like which dog?
It actually the set you can change it to be from either the first or third movie. They have both little variations.
Oh, they've got a
19
Hill Valley 18.
They don't
55?
They don't have all of them, but they do have some of the various changes that went on with the DeLorean in the various movies. I'm telling you, Lego has nailed it. I wish I was sponsored by them because it would save me a lot of money. Honestly, I think if I talk about them more, I could probably deduct those from my taxes.
Why don't you start a Lego podcast? That has to be
I want to talk about things I'm passionate about, and it's Legos.
But how do you talk about Legos? Because, like, I mean, which Lego piece is the MVP, Keith?
Oh, well, which of your 82 game Legos?
It's got to be the green Legos, the green ground pieces, right? Like the.
Oh, you talking base plates?
Yeah, I mean that's your MVP. You don't get to display anything.
Yeah. I guess.
Not those base.
I don't know.
You've lost Andrew.
Literally building blocks, generational building blocks.
That's what we have.
Literally.
Who are the generational interchangeable building blocks? There are some guys who'd only work in a single system. Your Tony Allen's, and your portable players can go anywhere, play on any team. Maybe your Chris Middleton's. I don't know. Anyways, let's do breakfast. Those were our breakfasts. I think we covered it. After our breakfasts, we move to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on a previous show. Dave and Andrew, you guys haven't. I mean, Dave, you're on kind of a lot. Andrew, you've been on a few times, so you don't have to apologize. You don't have to make right of anything. If you do, just let me know. But I'll start off by apologizing. Actually, Dave, I'll say, for The Athletic, we recorded the Daily Ding on Sunday, and I made a factual error.
Oh no!
And that makes me sick to my stomach to spread wrong information.
And Andrew texted us this morning and told us how great the show was.
Yeah, listen,
ruin it.
I went and told everybody this specific fact. I've texted this to.
Am I purposely sabotaging the Athletic show? Yes, I am. But I said Tyus Jones was 2 for 18 from the field in this series against the Warriors. Tyus Jones is likely going to have to start on Monday night in Game 4 as John Morant is doubtful to play. That number is incorrect. He was 2 for 16. He's 2 for 16 in the series. Makes all the difference. He's not shooting 11%. Yeah, he's shooting closer to 13.
Wow.
That's my bad. He is, in fact, 0 for 8 from 3. That part was accurate. So I apologize for the misinformation that I have thrown out into the universe. It's been an especially toxic just playoffs for everyone involved. And I am sad to say I did my piece by throwing misinformation out there to fan the flames of fan anguish. So I'm sorry. Dave, your face said you needed to apologize for something. You have something in your heart. Great. What
I have one. Listen, everybody knows I like to, throw some jokes out there, and sometimes there's a lot of truth behind them, and sometimes I'm wrong. And on Nerder last week, I made a joke that we were about to have 2 nights off from games because Suns, Mavs, Sixers, Heat were the Friday night games after we had Thursday night off. And wow, I look like a moron. Number one, in my defense, I did not know Joel Embiid was going to come back. And I definitely didn't think he was going to be able to come back after not being able to look at his phone screen post-concussion and come back and play as well as he did. I mean, he's totally solved their defensive issues. Miami has nothing on offense for them. So my apology is to these NBA teams. Hey, what do you know? Basketball, a little bit of randomness goes a long way. So that's my apology.
Yeah. So it's wild. The Mavericks take care of the Suns. They've leveled that series. The Sixers come back and leveled that series. I do think that, I think most people thought kind of those series felt like a wrap after the first 2 games. Now you have, you pointed out to me, Dave, the only home team to lose this playoffs in the second round is the Grizzlies. It's very, very sad. Home teams in the second round are 12-2 against the spread. And in the Warriors, Grizzlies, Sixers, Heat, and the Mavs Suns home teams are 11-0. So against the spread, that is. And so it's kind of wild. You say like Embiid solved, some of the defense for the Sixers. The poor Sixers, with Jimmy Butler, he's averaging 36.5 in the 2 games in Philadelphia on 60% shooting. Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry, Victor Oladipo, Max Strus, and Gabe Vincent combined made just 29% of their field goals, or 23 for 79 in the 2 games in Philadelphia. So a rough look right there. But yeah, I mean, we got the playoffs. The playoffs are here. It's been very exciting. Andrew, have you been inspired to make anything right that you might have gotten wrong in your life? If not, it's fine. We can move on. I don't want to pressure you.
Yeah, no.
This is not youth group. This is not church, when we're forcing you to confess.
This sounded like church.
Yeah,
you got
listen, there's sin in your heart. That's how
my whole life.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
No, we won't go that deep. I just want to apologize
to today?
Mavericks management, because I thought the Porzingis trade was just hot garbage. I thought it was such a bad deal.
Wow.
It was one hurt guy for two hurt guys.
I might have just told that to my priest and not shared that with everyone.
I thought like you're trading for Davis Bertans and Spencer Dinwiddie. Like, what are we doing here? And not that like trading Porzingis is like the worst thing in the world, but like for that, those guys helped them win a game.
It was a salary dump. Yeah, Bertans weirdly, he hit 4 threes in the game on Sunday.
Yeah,
he's actually played 37 playoff games. Which I guess I forget that he actually played those games on the Spurs, but like 37 playoff games feels like a lot. Actually,
37 is a ton.
That reminds me of a little ditty. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm gonna sing a song.
Okay.
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. Just a game of scones, guys.
Ooh, okay.
I'm putting you on the spot. Trivia game right here.
Okay.
This is for the players still alive in the postseason with the most playoff game experience.
Oh,
your challenge. You guys are going to go back and forth, and we're going to try to name one of the players who is top 30 in playoff game experience, who is still active, whose team is still going. So someone in the playoffs right now, top 30 in playoff experience. I think we'll go back and forth until each of you has logged 5 incorrect answers. And whoever has the most points, we will declare the winner. Andrew, I'm going to let you go first. We're looking for any of the 30 players who have the most playoff experience as far as games played, who are still alive in this year's postseason. By the way,
Chris Paul?
Bertans does not make the cut. Just Chris Paul is absolutely correct. He has the 7th most playoff experience. Good job, Dave. Your turn.
By the way, I just was curious about Bertans. Anthony Davis has only played 39 career playoff games. So by the end of this series, Davis Bertans and Anthony Davis will play the same number of playoff games.
You mentioned Anthony Davis. We'll come back to the quiz. This has been on my mind. Yeah. Like Drew Holiday's been amazing for the Bucks.
Yes.
I mean, obviously in the title last year.
Mm-hmm.
Was Drew Holiday worth more? Should he have been worth more of a pick package than Anthony Davis?
I mean, he won a title, right?
I mean, they both won titles.
Both won titles.
Both won titles.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know,
but
it feels like Anthony Davis. They gave up a lot for Anthony Davis.
They gave up more for Anthony Davis.
Maybe it should have been about even.
About even.
I don't know.
I mean, the pick packages, because the Lakers are poop, turns out way better for the Pelicans, and also the players involved. I mean, the players involved were incredible. Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart. Anyways, I'm sorry, Dave.
Yeah, you're okay.
You now pick a player who has a lot of playoff experience.
Top 30 career,
top 30
all time
and games played among the players who are still active in this year's postseason. Chris Paul's off the board.
Wow. Okay. Stephen Curry.
Steph Curry. Yes. He's 11th.
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson is right there. He's played more than Steph Curry because Steph Curry was hurt, I believe, a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 131 postseason games for Klay Thompson. He's 10th.
Wow.
Good job. Back to you, Dave.
Draymond Green.
Yes, you guys are doing a very good job. Teammates is a very good way to think about this. Draymond Green is 8th. Actually, excuse me, Draymond and Clay are tied at 8th. Both have 131.
What about Kyle Lowry?
Kyle Lowry is 13th, 102 playoff games. Good job.
James Harden.
James Harden. Oh, let me scroll on down. Let me scroll on down.
Oh, no.
Has been playing in the playoffs for so long.
Oh, I'm just kidding. He's at the top. Yeah. Number 4. Number 4, 147.
All right.
Great answer. Our best answer
Thank
yet,
you.
technically.
There you go.
All right, Andrew, back to you.
Giannis?
Giannis sneaks in at 17th.
Ooh.
72 playoff games. He is twice as good as Davis Bertans.
Oh man, now we're getting tough. Wow. Man, I'm trying to just even think about who's. Oh, hang on. Let's see. This is great podcasting.
Oh, I edit this out, baby.
You can hear me thinking.
This is trivia podcasting is what
I
it is.
know, it's
I'm
the
well
worst.
aware of what it's like to
It's
edit
the
trivia
worst.
podcasting.
Okay. Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Yes. 22nd.
Yes!
Good job.
Although I hate it because I just. Okay.
Did you uncover
ahead,
a new
Andrew.
team to mine? Possibly you did.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Yeah. Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smart, yes, has 5 more games than Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart is 16th with 73 games of playoff experience.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum is correct. Barely 29th. 29th out of 30. Skin of your teeth, Dave. We almost got our first strike.
Horford?
Al Horford has a lot of playoff experience.
Oh, no.
He is tied at 8th. Good job. Tied with Draymond Green and Klay Thompson with 131 postseason games.
Is Paul Millsap on the Sixers? I can't remember.
Oh my God. Is Paul Millsap on the Sixers? If so, I might have messed up.
I can't remember. Oh man. I don't remember if he's on the Sixers or
He's not
This
on my
is awful.
list, but that might have been my error.
He is on the Sixers.
Oh dear.
Is he? Where is he on the playoff?
I didn't write him down. I'll have to look him up.
Oh no. Paul Millsap has played in 130 playoff games.
All right, we'll count it. We'll count it as a correct answer. Back to you, Andrew.
Wow. I can't believe that I'm the one saying this name. Danny Green.
Danny Green is number 2. Dave, I'm a little
was
embarrassed
saving
for
it.
you.
I was saving it.
Yeah, right.
He has 163
Yeah, right.
playoff games. I feel like Andrew is confidently just
No, I
launching
really
bingers.
forgot about Danny
And,
Green.
and Dave is
well,
barely hanging on with these 29th, 28th on the list. All right.
You got to think about
Lots
all
of
my
players
time in
still
the
left.
wilderness. Lots of players still left.
Yeah, I mean, we've only done I think we've done 14. So 16 are left.
Oh my God. Oh, it's top 30. It's top 30.
We might get on to
active, not
3
all
strikes.
time.
Among the players who are active currently in the
Okay.
playoffs.
Okay.
Most games played. Playoff games played.
Man. This sucks. I suck at trivia. Well, at sports trivia.
What trivia are you best
Joe-
at?
Everything else. Literally. I had a college scholarship for trivia.
Oh,
Stupid.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
This is ridiculous.
Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid is not on the list. That is that's a strike for Dave.
DeAndre Jordan.
Deandre Jordan is on the list. He is 27.
I'll tell you right now.
Barely on the list.
Andrew Schlecht would destroy me in a game of. Remember that guy? He would just kill me.
Yeah.
I'd be in Tony Graffinino's zone too fast. I mean, I just forget about DeAndre Jordan even being out there.
Yeah.
Man. Let's see.
I'm going to tell you number 3 on this
Kevon
list
Looney
is someone I forgot was in the playoffs. Kevon Looney is number 30 on the list. Good job, Dave.
I'm
work. Number
I'm
30.
barely scraping by here.
Number 30.
Amazing.
This is what happens when you live in the moment, guys. I just don't think about these guys beyond the time I'm watching them in the game.
Yep. All right, Andrew, back to you.
What about the Tuck Wagon? PJ Tucker.
Yeah, PJ Tucker. That is correct. He's 15th on the list. Dave?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday. There we go. Yep. He's tied for 25th on the list. Back to you, Andrew.
Jimmy
Butler. Now we're talking. That's right. He's 6 games ahead of PJ Tucker. He's 14th on the list.
I just feel like there's like so many obvious players that I'm just not thinking of. Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris.
No,
I don't.
He played in Orlando, and not on the list. That's the second strike.
Not on the list. Second strike for Dave. You're 1 away from elimination. And the merciful end.
Yeah,
your
please.
Trivia life.
Oh yeah. Now I'm trying to think of. I'm going to say Peyton Pritchard. Next, so
Peyton Pritchard.
All right, Andrew.
Peyton Pritchard.
Continue finishing the style.
Andre Iguodala.
Number 1 on the list. Thank you, Andrew. Andre Iguodala has not played.
Forgot he even existed. I forgot he didn't retire.
As Grizzlies fans, we're hoping he comes back. He gives life to Dylan Brooks. It's Dylan Brooks' entire motivation is to beat Andre Iguodala. Please come back, Andre Iguodala. But yes, good job, Andrew. All right, Dave. Don't go outside.
I'm supposed to keep going?
Yes. You can get
I'm going to go out sad.
If you can get number 3 on the list, I'll take away a strike, even though you don't want that to happen.
There's no way. Wait, number 3 on the list.
Number 3 on the list is a player I forgot was playing in this playoffs. There's your hint.
I mean, there's like 5 or 6 of those for me. I mean, Andre Iguodala being one of them.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I forgot Deandre Jordan was playing, and we know how awful he was.
Yeah. I'll let you off the hook, Dave.
Thank you.
We'll declare Andrew the winner. Number 3 on the list is Serge Ibaka, who Basketball Reference tells me is on the Bucks.
I forgot he's on the Bucks. Yeah.
Number 5, Udonis Haslem. Number 6, George Hill. Number 12, Jay Crowder. Number 18, JaVale McGee.
Oh, yeah. JaVale's
tied at 19. We missed some Bucks here. Pat Connaughton, Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton. We forgot Marcus Morris, Steven Adams. And number 25 is Torrey Craig. And number 28, Wes Matthews. Those are all the ones that went unnamed. But thanks for your willingness to indulge in the game of scones. I think we just did our apologies. Everyone was done with the apologies there. So we'll move on to our steak and eggs best thing. Before we get there, I got to tell you to check out grindcitymedia.com, Grind City Media on YouTube, or go to the official Grizzlies mobile app to watch Grizzlies Tip-Off. It's an hour before each game throughout the second round of the NBA playoffs. It's a live stream preview hosted by Rob Fisher and features news, notes, and commentary from Michael Wallace, Megan Triplett, Kelsey Wright-Johnson, Lang Whitaker, and more. Grizzlies Tip-Off is presented by Ford and your Mid-South Ford dealers. All right, steak and eggs, best thing. What's the best thing you saw in the last week? Andrew, what's the best thing you saw in the last week?
I mean, just the resurgence of Maxi Kleba in the playoffs has just been really excellent for me. He wasn't that good in the regular season.
No,
just didn't play well, didn't shoot well, and he's just absolutely emerged as one of the better Dallas Mavs. And I think honestly, we should give credit to Dave DuFour on this one because he called it before the playoffs started. I thought that sounds like a dumb take. And you know what? He was right. So big ups to not only Maxi, but to Dave. I just wanted to publicly tell everybody that Dave DuFour really made this happen.
Now, listen, hold on. All I said was this guy is going to be wide open and he has to shoot. You hope he makes it. And then he just stuck every shot.
Yeah,
you said that like he was going to be like an
49%
X factor or something like that.
Well, this is the thing, though, is that I think Maxey is a guy, people don't know how good he is defensively. If he had played more minutes, I think he's like a second team all NBA defensive caliber guy, right? Like he plays 24 minutes a night. It's sort of the same paradox that you found last year with Alex Caruso and with Matisse Thybulle. But defensively is where his biggest impact is, which is why he needs to shoot on the other end. And my thing was he was going to be open against Utah. Maybe it was a way to get his confidence going. But yeah, he's been great, man. They're not where they are. They're not even out of the first round if he doesn't do what he did.
Not even close. Poku shot better from the field than he did this year, which is that's how you know you're bad.
That's amazing. Yeah, the Mavericks, their resurgence against the Suns and their success all postseason, like, you have the heliocentric star in Doncic, but the role players are knocking down the threes. Kleber's made 49% of his three-pointers in the postseason, but also it's not just him. Like Dorian Finney-Smith. By the way, Dorian Finney-Smith made 8 3-pointers on Sunday. He scored 24 points without attempting a 2-pointer, which is disgusting. Shows the homogenous nature of the NBA. Just 3-pointers. No, I can't handle it. I need post-ups. No, I'm kidding. I guess. I don't know. Yeah, he scored 24 points, the most as anyone's ever scored in a postseason game without attempting a 2-pointer. Bertans, like we were joking, he's shooting over 40% for the playoffs from 3. Reggie Bullock, we know he is a great 3-point shooter, but like he waxes and wanes. Like he goes through these really long cold stretches. And right now, all those dudes, all those role players who are playing massive minutes are knocking down threes. And then, you see the Mavericks hit 20 on Sunday, and that's why they leveled that off. Dave, what's your best thing you've seen in the last week?
Did you guys see that play? Keith, I know you saw it, but from the Warriors-Grizzlies game the other day. And it was a little bit, it was almost like a floppy action, but you get Steph and Jordan Poole under the basket, and they sort of do this ring around the rosy, sort of do-si-do, right? Like they connect arms, swing each other around, and spin off for open shots. And man, I love that stuff. Number one, I think that offensive guys outside of screens do not interact enough with each other. I think that sort of slingshot, use your momentum, slingshot, throw the defense off. That stuff is great. Remember a few in the bubble with JaVale McGee kind of walked out of bounds and then came back from out of bounds to enter the play for a dunk. I think this was a Jason Kidd play. I love anything that is a curveball. And so when you see stuff like that, just guys out there having fun, being creative, I don't know. I love it. It's something that kids would do.
I don't mean to be a cop, Dave, but you're describing things that are expressly forbidden by the rules of the NBA. You can't just step out of bounds on your own to like hide yourself. You're not allowed to leave the court of play voluntarily. I'm just saying it's the violation. Also, I don't know about
if you're not called for it.
The slingshot play. So like these guys where they ran together, they locked arms and threw each other in another direction. It was like numerous, I feel like time travel space movies where it's like, listen, we're just going to slingshot around the sun. We're going to use the gravity of the sun to launch us wherever. And like that's what they did. I don't know how you guard that.
You can't.
I'm not even joking. I feel like it might be illegal. I'm not going to send a tape to the league. Like apparently the entire Grizzlies front office has been doing about the entire series, saying, please do something about this. And it was neat. Like them running together, locking arms, doing a little thing, flying off in their own direction. Those guys, I mean, Poole and Curry, when they're on, it's horrifying. It's terrifying. When you throw Clay, I mean, I don't know if is Clay fast enough to run that action anymore, where they lock arms. But it was. I mean, I'm joking with the legality of that one. It was pretty awesome. Speaking of legality, speaking of our cops, the referees, my best thing.
Oh no!
My best thing was Chris Paul's 5th foul. It was. I mean, has there ever been like die by your own sword type thing?
Oh yeah,
reap like what you sow, man.
I created Skynet, and now Skynet has killed me.
Exactly.
Chris Paul fell prey to the Chris Paul rule.
Yep.
Where I don't know, like he's in the playoffs and it just reflex kicked in. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm in foul trouble. And instead of just playing basketball, I'm going to run into a guy 85 feet from my basket trying to draw a foul. And he broke the new rule that says you can't veer into the defenders when you guys are changing into the court, like, because they said Brunson had no opportunity to change direction. And so he picks up his 5th foul. Monty Williams has to burn his challenge to try to keep Chris Paul on the court. And the referees, I assume if we could get the unfiltered microphones of what they were saying on Secaucus, I mean, I just assume they were laughing.
You got to get him. We got to get him.
Yeah, we're going to get that guy. Or maybe it was just in your face, Chris. I mean, it was incredible. You didn't need Scott Foster for this one.
That's
it's
right.
Codified in the rule book. What Chris Paul did was wrong. I died laughing.
And now I'll tell you, I didn't know if Scott Foster was officiating that game or not. So it didn't matter to me, but the poetic justice here is burning the challenge on a play that you should never have challenged.
Yeah.
And then that 6th foul likely would have been overturned.
You needed the challenge then.
The 6th foul, listen, as much.
And this is why, look, I'm with Mo on this one, man. Mo on Nerder, Mo says players should be fined just for asking for a challenge. And you absolutely, he's like,
that's my joke, Dave.
Team, players asking for a challenge, you should fine them every time. Because these guys, they'll poke the ball out in the middle of the 2nd quarter and it's off them. And the hand just goes up.
If you wave the hand, it's like.
I'm about to rant on challenges and reviews. And look, man, I just want to watch the game once.
It's already,
right?
I think, do you think the pendulum is swung?
It's too much. We review every play, bro.
I think initially we had Reggie Miller make a 3-pointer that was after the buzzer, and then that was counted, and then everyone's like, listen, we have to review these final shots. And especially, and even like we saw it on the Al Horford play, the incredible Marcus Smart missed free throw. Al Horford tips it in just a split second after the buzzer. I believe they correctly said it was no basket, but they went to review just to make sure. If they missed that call, I think the pendulum has swung far enough for me personally, where now that I've experienced a decade of incessant reviews, and I'm really glad they got rid of the out of bounds reviews in the final 2 minutes. But like, I think I'm prepared now to accept just the error of that call being wrong as well. Just so we can celebrate when the buzzer goes off, you can celebrate and you don't have to wait for them to announce what happened in the sporting event you just watched.
Well, money is the enemy of joy. Right. And then perfection is like this perfection as a goal.
It's hard to buy Legos without money, Dave.
I understand that. But the perfection part of this officiating equation that they're going for is because of gambling solely. That's it. Like, I actually think, man, sports is better when we have human beings getting these calls wrong. I just think it is. I'd rather argue.
What are they doing in Secaucus? Can we have this explained to me? Because why couldn't they just have a earpiece and the people in Secaucus can see it quickly? Oh, this was this play. Now let's move on. Why does Secaucus have to watch?
The guy in the
court? They have to watch. Why does everybody have to watch? I don't understand.
They do it on some of them. I mean, on some of them, like your 2 and 3 point, like, was it a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer? Secaucus just lets you know, and they adjust it automatically as the game goes along.
Look, man, here's the deal: get rid of free throws altogether, or take the points away from the individual player, and you can solve flopping. If the team just was credited as team points, like on a technical free throw, the point didn't go to Steph Curry. It went to just the Golden State Warriors. If you did that for every free throw, we would solve the grifting, because the guys just want the points.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Look, this stuff is just, it's silly. Like, I would just say you draw a foul, it's a point in the ball. Every single foul, just every one.
Well, if it's point in the ball, then everyone's going to be falling over nonstop.
And then what? And then you have a league that falls. It's already falling apart from a viewership.
My very controversial,
I hate watching all this.
My controversial idea, very outside the box. You're only allowed to fall down 15 times.
What about call
maybe
your own?
15th fall?
You're only allowed to fall down like maybe eight times in the game.
I would argue that we would enjoy it more if it was call your own, because at least then there would be some pride involved. And you know, it's not me trying to fool the ref. I got to fool myself that I'm so soft that I'm falling over 45 times a game. It actually, like,
I would love to see how horrifying call your own foul was.
Like, I'd like to think people wouldn't. I'm not a foul calling guy, right? I'll play through it.
I've refed 3-on-3 tournaments where I told them like, hey, call your own fouls. If you disagree, I'm going to step in. If you guys abuse it, I'm going to call everything. So, like, just let's try to work it out. Let's see how it goes.
How did it go?
It went fine.
You're a mediator.
I mean, I like, that's what I like. I'll be a mediator, like just call your own fouls. Tell me if I'm missing out of bounds call. If I can't figure it out, I'll just call everything. I think you might do a better job just calling your own fouls. I would love to see it, but also, I mean, which player would abuse it the most? Would it just be Chris Paul calling like 80 fouls a game?
I don't want to sit and name names, but we know the ones. We know who would do it. I mean, I don't know. If you were chasing a scoring title or something, you might call a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
Chris Paul 2 years ago screamed because Jordan Bell didn't have his jersey tucked in.
Oh, it's a great moment.
Got a
great moment in NBA history.
So you think that Chris Paul, you think he knows the rules now, but if he was calling his own foul, he would know every single rule.
I feel bad for Chris Paul rules memorizer that he forgot that he can't veer into the path of a defender. That's rough. Those are our, I think we're still on our best things. Let's switch it over to the worst things. The opposite of our steak and eggs is the cream of wheat. We're kind of talking about it. I think there's been a lot of officiating talk, but do you guys have your worst things? Like, look, Andrew. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Andrew, you go first.
Yeah, Andrew, what's your worst thing, man?
Oh, I think it's I actually am changing mine. It's the discourse going on between the Grizzlies and the Warriors, not the teams.
Yeah.
But the people covering the teams online, where it's, hey, this thing happened to this guy, but hey, this guy did this, but did you see this? This was more egregious than that. And let me show you this slow motion play. I don't want to show you that slow motion play. And everybody, I just want to say, just stop fighting.
Oh,
it's enough.
We should just stop fighting.
Look, if the way that you are a fan of basketball involves going through clips like it's the Zapruder film, you're just doing a different thing than everybody else, man. What are we doing?
It's brutal. I'm so weirded out.
Speeding tickets. You're rooting for speeding tickets. You're not rooting for the sport. This is why. Look, man, lawyer ball has ruined fan discourse. We have fans that support flopping because their guys do it and are good at it. It's like, cool. I love to watch free throws. No, I hate it. Yes, the discourse has. I actually disagree there a little bit, Andrew. It's not just the fans. The teams are also being.
I know the teams are in it. I'm just saying, I just don't want my friends fighting. That's all.
So
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like when the team has now said, like, as a matter of fact, that like Taylor Jenkins said, quote, as a matter of fact, that's the end quote, I guess there. He said that like the medical staff and John Morant have both announced that like he got injured on the Jordan Poole moment.
Right.
It seems way more likely it's when like they kind of bumped knees or like his knee bent a little funny, but like the play where it looks like he's like kind of playing his MCL like a stand-up bass. He's just massaging it a little. And then it's so weird. Like clearly John Morant's out, which is awful. Like that's clearly the worst thing.
That is awful.
But also like trying to, again, like legislate these basketball plays in slow motion. It's so weird. Also, like my worst thing, if like I try not to make an actual worst thing be like something terrible, but like Steve Kerr keeps acting like that the team told Dylan Brooks to injure
right.
Payton. Like, no, everyone has agreed.
Well, I think it started there.
Terrible.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, number one, there's a difference between dirty and reckless. I don't think Dylan Brooks is a dirty player. It was a reckless play, but that is a guy who has a history of reckless play. It's the Draymond Green paradox. I don't think Draymond is dirty, but when you're reckless, it often looks dirty. And I think that that's what the Dylan Brooks thing was. The Jordan Poole thing doesn't even look dirty. I don't even think it was reckless. He was going for the ball. He caught leg and he grabbed, and I think he thought he had his arm or something like that. And he just ripping. Well, and look, shit happens. It's basketball.
The live speed of it, like it only looks weird in slow-mo, which now we're like,
we got to just stop doing slow motion, man. Look, video was a bad idea. That's all I got to say. We should just go back to live sports only.
Well, this is the thing. So my kids, 7 and 4, we have some pretty large televisions, not like ostentatiously huge, but like, well, like a 47-inch TV, like, and they found a cathode ray TV I had it's like 14 inches wide, and they're like, can we watch TV on that? It's like they don't even want the big screen. They just want to watch the thing. They're like, hey, look at that TV. That TV's fun. This is the TV I like watching. I like watching my shows on. I like watching on the
more
smaller,
like the size.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, and it's like, what is it? 60 pixels I don't know. Like,
is it like the flat screen from The Office?
No, it kind of is, but it's like, this is before I knew to count what pixels were. Before I knew what 480p or 720 or 1080p was. It's just like a big boxy TV.
What was the definition on those old TVs?
That's what I don't know.
Like, I used to watch wrestling on Saturday mornings on a 13-inch black and white television. So I think I'll take the 47-inch.
Well,
now.
Not all of us were born in the 60s, Dave.
I wasn't born in the 60s.
No, I mean, that's my memory.
I'm
that's my memory
old.
of watching football on childhood.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Jefferson Pilot Sports in like outside of Nashville, and you had to like turn your antenna, and like if you could make out just blobs, you felt like you were watching the game. It was awesome. I can see I can see the game. My worst thing, it might not even be playoffs related. Maybe it's not worse. Maybe it's the best thing. Sacramento Kings. You got a new coach. It does seem a little weird that you only look for candidates who've worked for the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I think 6 of their last 8 coaches have now been assistant coaches for the Warriors. So like maybe be your own person. Believe in yourself
that ownership
enough
group, right?
To veer off the path. But I think good things for Kings fans. I think they're relieved they didn't end up with Mark Jackson. And Mike Brown seems like a good coach. So they'll definitely certainly not make the playoffs anytime soon, but it could be worse. So
they'll definitely fire him in 2 years and definitely, maybe have a little bit of success in year 1, overreact and sign somebody in year 2. It won't work out. They'll fire him in year 3. This is the life cycle of the Kings coaches.
I guess my actual worst thing is just poor Duncan Robinson not getting a chance. I already spelled out the bad shooting from all those other Heat guys. But Duncan, I feel bad for him. I'm not enough defense. I'm not enough of a Heat expert to know whether or not them choosing like Gabe Vincent hurt Kyle Lowry and Max Strus over Duncan Robinson, but I feel bad for him. So I'm just gonna say I feel bad for him. Andrew, did you have a worst thing? Have we done? What's your? Oh, you did. Dave.
Yeah, Andrew did. It's me. Yeah.
Dave, what's your worst thing, man?
So for me, and I understand that everything on the internet is, you have to do a wink and a nod, right? Like the fourth wall doesn't exist anymore. But there's a concept from professional wrestling that used to exist called kayfabe. And the idea was you protected the business. You didn't let everyone know, hey, this is an act. This is fake. This is all a work, as they would say.
Yeah.
And NBA players have now decided to just break kayfabe on flopping. And listen, what you're really doing is rubbing my face in it, because we all know it's happening. The referees know it's happening. The league knows it's happening. Everyone in the media knows it's happening. You're supposed to act like you're innocent here, even though we know you aren't. I'm sorry. It's fun for you to, oh yes, I'm so smart that I'm good at flopping. I don't want that. Please pretend again, like you're actually getting fouled. It's not cute to me that you're good at falling down. Yeah. That's it. That's my least favorite thing. We've got too much wink and nod on
this
the foul
goes back
thing,
to the let's just let them call their own fouls. I also think it's weird as far as like, I don't know if it falls under your definition of this new term kayfabe that I've never heard of before.
It's an old term.
I think it's funny how the discourse over our referee brethren has been like, there's like 7 refs now where like people are every fan base is worried that like the fix is in. It's like way beyond Scott Foster. Now it's like John Goebel. Now it's, you have Mark Davis, you have Tony Brothers. I have David Guthrie now. Like I'm mad at David Guthrie. The Grizzlies are 1-5 with David Guthrie this year, and he ejected Kyle Anderson.
See,
like,
this is my argument here, Keith. We don't want to know the referees' names. It's a bad thing for the league. I would almost go with luchador refs, put these guys in masks. I don't want them to have personalities. You don't need carpool karaoke or whatever other weird stuff they're doing. Yeah. Look, man, I would do a cultural exchange. Let's get some FIBA refs in here, some people that actually know how to officiate the sport of basketball. Send those guys over to Europe, let them learn. Because what happens now is that they want to be personalities. On top of, I'm sorry, man, your job is to be impartial here and just call the game. But you're also a television producer too. And that's one of the things that's missing from the NBA is get these guys to have a sense of the moment a little bit more. And also go back to the way you called the stuff the first month of the season. It was great.
And honestly, my favorite last 2 minutes so far, I think, of this playoffs was the end of Celtics Bucks game 3. It was just madness. It was chaos. It was madness. And I like that, honestly. Let's move on. Those are our worst things. Before we get to the awards segment of the program, we have a couple of listener submitted questions. The croissant questionnaire. Jimbo asks, which player is the most surprisingly involved in the playoffs this year, and which player is the most surprisingly uninvolved in the playoffs this year? So are there any guys to you that you're surprised how much maybe playing time or involvement they've had so far, and then guys who you thought would, play more and they have not?
I mean, it's got to be like the Deandre Jordan, Paul Reed saga here that's going on in Philadelphia, where it's just funny because the fans are just dying because of this. Yeah. And then DeAndre, once Embiid comes back, DeAndre doesn't touch the floor. Paul Reed is the backup. I don't know maybe it's not that surprising. Maybe it is surprising how much Doc defended the DeAndre choice.
Doc sticking to his guns is one of the favorite things, where he's like, I'm going to stick with my man. And then he's like, you know what? I actually can't. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stop playing DeAndre Jordan.
I know. I'm just going to let the Joel Embiid storyline just carry this one away.
Yeah. I'll say I'm legit surprised how much Victor Oladipo's been involved in this postseason. Yes. Like, coming in, I didn't think Victor Oladipo was going to be a big part of the playoffs, but like he's played a ton of minutes for the Heat. It's like that's been a big surprise. Dave, anybody
Grayson Allen, your favorite player, man, like starting for the Bucks. Now that's injury to Chris Middleton opened that up, but they were starting him because they wanted more ball handling.
I did love Ben Thompson, no tech Ben. I think in game 3, finally turning against Grayson Allen and realizing he's not a playoff player. I took some definite delight and pleasure in that. By the way, I saw this stat as far as like 2-man net ratings so far for the postseason. Obviously, they're all over the place and they're humorous, but I had to identify that Grayson Allen and Javon Carter so far in this playoffs together on the court have a net rating of plus 28.5. So 2 of my Grizzlies cast-offs, who I was not very big fans of, doing good things on the Bucks. Another guy who's like surprisingly uninvolved, based on like my before the playoffs expectation, is Steven Adams. Like, Steven Adams got benched after the first game. He caught a COVID. He hasn't played since, though he was cleared. It's been very, very odd that the Grizzlies have made it this far with, Steven Adams playing about like 15, 20 minutes. I felt like that was a big surprise. Is there anybody else that like you guys can think of that hasn't played yet, or you thought would be doing bigger, or is actually more involved than you anticipated?
I'm a little surprised how much Dwight Powell just kind of stinks,
played off the court.
Of him as, Like he's, I think of him as a good player, and especially against the Suns, where like, they're playing traditional bigs. Like, you can probably get away with some Dwight Powell minutes. Nope. Like you just can't play him. They played him 10 minutes, and they're like, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, Dwight Powell totally off the court.
And he was great, against Gobert. But this is one of those classic styles make fights sort of thing. And Maxey, what he brings is just this is the argument against Gobert too. But Maxey's ability to stretch the floor and passively defend the way that he does is why he's getting more minutes now. So at least it makes sense. But I'm with you, man. He had looked so good since the turnaround for Dallas in I guess it was like January 2nd or so, when Luka came back post ankle injury. You could see that his athleticism post Achilles had started to return. And he's just cannot stay on the court against Phoenix.
I think we named some good ones. Thanks for the question there. If you want to submit your own question to be answered on air, you have to become a Patreon supporter. You do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. If you join the Patreon, you can join us on Tuesday night. We're going to do a playback live watch party for Mavs Suns. John has assured me that he will be healthy enough to do that. So if you want to get involved with that on Tuesday night, you want to join our Slack chat where we talk about basketball, parenthood, movies, and whatever else around the clock. Support us over at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. It's now time for the awards segment of the program, the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award, given to the worst performance in a box score for the week. This is just the last 6 days. We have a couple of honorable mentions. Marcus Smart, 1 for 8. Jalen Brunson, 3 for 12. Tobias Harris and Jaren Jackson Jr., 4 for 13. And Klay Thompson, 5 for 19. Our 3 nominees that we will be choosing between, here they are as they occurred chronologically over the past 6 days. Jaren Jackson Jr., in a Game 2 win, he was 3 for 14 from the field. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, and assists, 2 blocks, 1 turnover, and oh yeah, he fouled out. Before going on a weekend heater, Danny Green, in a Game 2 loss, was 1 for 10. Ugly stuff, Dave. 1 for 10, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, a turnover, and a personal foul. And then finally, Jason Tatum, in a loss in Game 3 on Sunday, was 4 for 19. 4 for 19 for 10 points at 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks. That's pretty awesome. 3 turnovers and 1 personal foul. So we're picking between who had the worst performance of Jaren Jackson Jr., 3 for 14, 12 points, 8 boards. Danny Green, 1 for 10, 3 points, 2 steals. And Jason Tatum, 4 for 19, 10 points, 1 rebound, 4 blocks. I know you guys aren't normally asked to pick the International Stackhouse of Awards award winner. What do you think?
I'm going to go Tatum. I'm going to go Tatum
because the volume is hard to beat there.
It really is. And also, listen, man, he had been the best player in the playoffs in the first round for sure. I mean, he just stood out on both ends, and for him to fall apart offensively, this is what has really caused Boston to lose those games.
Well, I have to let you know, Dave, you can't bring in your analysis of what happened in other games. That's inadmissible for the International Stackhouse of Pancakes. We just look at the single box score. But yeah, 4 for 19.
15 missed shots.
That does it for me. Andrew, you want to make that unanimous? I believe you gave us a in there.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, he's gonna
Danny Green.
Danny Green, 1 for 10 is gross.
What a horrible player. I watched that game and I thought this guy doesn't deserve to be on the court. Get him out of here. Can we just, by the way, can you guys hear this bird?
Yes.
There's a bird.
I hadn't noticed it.
It is a scissortail flycatcher sitting on my windowsill. I just got up to try to
scare it. Try to assert your domination.
He's back.
And
he's back.
No.
He's just chirping at me. He's literally looking at me.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really weird. I'm feeling really uncomfortable.
He is Draymond Green and you are David Guthrie, and he knows you're not going to do anything.
He's right. He's right. And
I'm going to chirp away, and this guy's not going to do anything. He might throw out Kyle Anderson later. Par fadeaway, gentlemen. What things are we looking forward to in the coming week? What's something you might be looking forward to that's coming up? Andrew, you have anything that you're particularly excited about?
Oh, just some juicy Game 5s, right? I mean, the Miami, Philadelphia, and the maybe I'm not as much with Suns Mavs, but the Miami Philadelphia one is just really looking forward to it because we have Embiid's back and it changes everything for them. Wow. And now they're tough to guard and they've court offense for the Heat. And I really enjoyed watching them because when they have Embiid, Harden, and Maxey, like they're difficult to guard and they're really weird because all 3 of them are so different. Like I don't remember Maxey making like a huge impact. However, like you could see the Heat like afraid of his speed because they don't have really anybody that can match his foot speed. And so you could see them like setting up and all it did was open things up. Maxey didn't have a great game, but they just have guys that do things so differently. And so I'm just curious, like, what does that look like in Miami? Are the Miami role players just going to hit threes and like it's a wrap? Like, I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great one. I mean, I'm not going to short shrift the Suns Mavs. Like, like the pressure on these 1 seeds on the Suns and on the Heat now, like with those series level. I'm a little sad that like it seems like the excitement has shifted from Grizzlies, Warriors, Bucks, Celtics night, and now it's gone over to the other guys, where it used to be like that was the boring night when those series were 2-0, but now they're both level 2-2. Dave, anything you get your eye on coming up?
I mean, I actually am, unlike Andrew, looking forward to the Mavs Suns. I think the Mavs have figured something out, and I don't know. They can push the Suns. Chris Paul, I expect him to have a bounce back game in game 5, but I don't know, man. This series is going 7, I think. Got Luka. Luka has been the best player in the series the last couple of games, and he's looking healthier and healthier by the game. I think the thing that they were doing to exploit him defensively isn't working now that he seems a little bit like his legs are underneath him.
I want to know, like, I guess there's a chance the Celtics obviously don't even up their series on Monday night. The Grizzlies are double-digit underdogs playing without John Morant on Monday night. But looking ahead to those games and then looking ahead to like those game 5s we talked about, what are your final picks for right now? Like, I feel like it's totally finals? No. I just mean who's going to meet in the finals.
Oh, it's up in the air to me, man.
Yeah, it's like,
honestly,
yeah.
I mean,
the injury stuff has just been
Suns,
so wild.
But like the Suns are healthy technically,
I'm not.
Right?
I think I take the Warriors. I would take the Warriors over the Suns right now. And I just believe a little bit more in the way that they're playing.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't think DeAndre Ayton has been as good against Dallas as he was in their first round series against the Pelicans. And I think that the Warriors can do a better job even than Dallas of neutralizing him. So I like the Warriors a little bit more than anybody else in the West. And in the East right now, I mean, if you don't have Giannis, I don't think I like you. And I don't even know how much I like the Bucks, because the Celtics could just flip the switch and everything goes the other way, because I loved the Celtics, but I just can't bet against Giannis anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think mathematically you're correct in picking the Warriors in the West, just because they seem clearly more likely to advance right now with their lead against the Grizzlies. Andrew, you want to make a finals pick, even though Dave basically, I think, echoed our
sentiments. Everyone.
It said like, yeah, it could be anybody.
I'll still go with the Suns.
Yeah.
I think Chris Paul had his annual point fraud game the other day, and he's got that out of his system.
Okay, good. That's good. That's good.
And so I think he can now move on, and I think they're going to be fine. The East, I think I lean Celtics. I think the Celtics have a little bit more. There's more answers with Middleton out. If Giannis can somehow pull this out and they get Middleton back, I wouldn't bet against the Bucks.
I mean,
I'll still stick with the Celtics.
I'm saying I'm leaning 70% to the team that wins Celtics Bucks. Like, is that where?
Yeah.
Like
seems most likely.
Whoever wins that, I think I'm a favor, significantly over whoever wins Sixers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's going to be great. Anyway, Andrew and Dave, appreciate you guys stepping in and doing a great job co-hosting this little show today. Look forward to the next time you come on. You guys out there, you want to support the program, do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. If you're in the Memphis TV area, you can watch Bally Sports Southeast postgame for Grizzlies Live, presented by Ford and your Mid-South Ford dealers throughout round 2 of the playoffs, for a postgame show featuring Rob Fisher, Pete Pranica, Brevin Knight, and Chris Vernon. Check your local listings. Follow Grizz on Bally and at MemGrizz for start times. Anyways, you guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing. All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
That was fun. Thanks for giving me a chunk of your day.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
You want to join me and Keith on Slam and Jam tomorrow?
What time?
At 1:15.